minutes. Meantime, just know all my misery. This ought to be a trait. Just gonna spread the stream around. Alrighty, let's see if anyone popped in or not. Nope, no surprise. Guess I'm nowhere near important enough. Whatever. I'm just at a loss for words. I figured this would happen. Pretty sure I changed the thumbnail, but whatever. Well, I'm just gonna get out of the way. Whether or not y'all bothered to watch this and post whatever, I don't care at this point. I'm just gonna clear the air. Because I figured, you know what? Maybe I should get a short stream going. Maybe, like, chat with some of y'all. But apparently, from what I'm seeing right now, nobody's in the live stream. So I'm just gonna say it and get over with. Y'all can do whatever after that. So, where to begin is the question right now. Where the hell to begin? You know what? The place to start would be maybe a good couple of years ago. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but long and short of it, you know what? I was better off just recording a video because at this point, what's the point? I already spread the stream around, nobody popped in, so whatever. I'm just gonna take this down later. Actually, I'll give it another 5 minutes. Nobody pops in. I'm just gonna record a video and be done with it. No point in saying something if no one's gonna hear it. To those in chat, if anyone's there, like, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together what I need to say. Because this is not something that I like to talk about, but it's something that's gotta be said. Hey, Mizu. Hey, Golden. Alright. So, I'll try not to take too long with this, because, frankly, I just want to get off my chest as soon as possible. So, where do I begin? The answer is simple. Um, this starts back to late 2021, 2022. And I've had to keep my mouth shut on this for a long time because of a lot of BS going on in the background. A lot of it I can't really talk about. I couldn't talk about. But I'm just gonna come out and say it. My family is basically at the risk of getting evicted before the year's out. And the sad part is there's literally nothing I can do about it. We need money just to find a new place to live. I spent literally the last 6 months trying to raise the money to do that. And all I have to show for is less than $300. Because most of the money I've managed to raise has gone straight to the bills. So, honestly, what more can be said? And this whole thing goes back to a very stupid and frankly should have been fucking avoidable legal incident between my family and my dickhead of a landlord. I'm not gonna mince words on this shit. My landlord's a fucking asshole. To those who already know, you already know the story, but to those who don't, I'll just keep it brief. We had issues with pest control at one point. I think this was back in 2022, give or take a couple months. Long story short, we had issues with basically a minor roach infestation and a couple rats. We asked the landlord to they could do something about it. Guess what the landlord's reply was? He told my mom to go fuck herself. And we tried being reasonable. We tried being nice about it. But unfortunately, as my mom had to find out the hard way, nice doesn't mean shit to some people in this fucking world. So after a while, we decided, you know what? If the landlord's gonna be like that, we'll just withhold rent. And so we did. Landlord tried to sue us for eviction. We fought that eviction notice for literally months. And they were constantly harassing us over it too. No joke. Landlord's entire family got involved. Fucking harassing the hell out of us because we basically refused to pay rent when we had good reason to withhold it. And the long and short of it is, because of this, and all that, you know what? I got a question. Y'all can take a guess how much we were paying a month to to rent this place out. How? Take a wild guess. I'm curious to hear your answers because I know for a fact not many know how much we were actually paying. Hmm. Good. You're actually close, Golden. You're close. You're very close. You're getting okay. Crossy too high. Means you're getting very close. You're very close. Low lower Crossy. Bingo, Mizu. We were paying over $2,200 a month to stay at this place that had a roach infestation at rat problems, and landlord be refusing to do shit about it. That's what we were dealing with for 2.5 years. And most of that money came from not just from what I managed to save up from all the jobs I worked, but also came from a good chunk of my mom's retirement fund. Cannot make this shit up. And I planned on using that money to finally pay off the last of my student debt. I can't make this up. Hell, I wish I was making this up. Because the saying goes, the truth is stranger than fiction. And oh damn, they don't know the person who said that shit don't know how right they are. But yeah, that's literally what's been going on. And we've had a legal battle with our landlord for 2 years over this shit. Constantly threatening us with eviction notices because, and here's the thing, they kept trying to take us to court for months, constantly harassing us, trying to bully us into paying the rent, and refusing to do shit about the situation we're still stuck with. So we finally had to reach out to a lawyer, and the long and short of it is the lawyer thankfully was a competent one who heard us out. And here's a good thing. Like after a lot of BS, a lot of back and forth, again, this was 2 years at least, we finally won the case. But the sad part is, here's what sucks. Because of the ruling, and because of the landlord having, like, because our lawyer was basically very thorough in investigating the landlord's bullshit. Yeah, they found multiple property violations on the landlord's part. So, despite the fact that we won the case, we have to move out of here before the year's out. And if we can, and we can't, we literally are not allowed to stay any longer than at most maybe November, if we're lucky. So you can imagine how much hell it's been trying to raise the money we need to move out of this place. And like I said, the amount you see on the live stream right now, I need to update it, but that's how much I've had to show for it. And it's been hell trying to maintain just enough because, like I said, most of the money I could have gotten out of it went straight to the bills. So it's been a lot of work trying to at least make even a tenth of the amount we need. But yeah, that's literally the situation I'm in right now. I'm not like I wish I was making this up. I honestly wish I was making this up. Because again, the saying goes, truth is stranger than fiction. But that's the reality I'm stuck with right now. So I've been, like I said, I've been trying for the last several months to make at least half the money we need because a good chunk of that money is from an outstanding bill. Like a small chunk of that money is from an outstanding bill, and the rest of it is literally for moving expenses. I'm not keeping a single cent for myself on this. We're trying to find. We have a couple places we have our eye on, Golden. The problem is we still waiting to hear back from both the housing authority and the owners of those properties, and we haven't heard back from them yet. Not at all. So I have no idea what's gonna happen. To be honest with you, all I know is we don't hear back from them soon. We're probably gonna end up on the street. And I've already tried getting a grant, but that takes months just to get approval. The minimum for a grant to what I've dug up, the minimum it takes to get a grant, at least in New York, is at least 3 to 6 months, give or take. And unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest, I almost had a nervous breakdown earlier today because between all this BS that's been slowly driving me insane, and also the moving expenses have gotten even worse because, like I said, we're just barely making enough right now just to get by. My brother only just recently got a new job, so he hasn't been getting enough pay yet to make him that much of a difference. I've been trying to find work, but the last time I like the last jobs I worked at, I got laid off. So, and they haven't called me back at all to see if there's a spot open anymore. So I have no choice but to assume that I'm not getting that job back. And what makes this even more problematic is that the last few jobs I applied to, they've all turned me down. I've literally lost count of how many jobs I've applied to in the last, what is it, 8 months now? At least 8 months. And not a single one has called me back to say if they want to hire me or not. And the few that have, I'll be honest, they basically have told me straight up, at least they're honest in telling me they already found a better candidate. I'm like, you know what? Fine. There's another job. But it's been like this for literally years now. At least a good couple years. Like I said, I got laid off from my last couple jobs, so there's not much I can do about that. So in the meantime, like literally what's been helping me pay the bills at all is literally art commissions, but that's pretty much dried up at this point as of maybe last month, if not sooner. So here I am in serious, like at worst I'm in not only that, like the sucky part is if it weren't for the expenses from living here, I could have paid off my student debt literally 3 years ago. Not even kidding. Like I could have easily paid off my student debt like 3 years ago, but that's not here nor there. At this point, there's not much I can do. But yeah, that's literally my situation right now. So yeah, and I like I said, chat. I wish I was joking about the rates we've been paying our rent and shit up till like I think almost 2 years ago now. Maybe no, actually no. It's been over a year since we paid them any rent at this point. Only because again, they refuse to help us out at all. I know, I know. I've I've been busy with a lot these last 2 days. Like I haven't really like the last 2 days alone. I've been just ridiculously busy. So you have to forgive me for not getting So I'm just going to real quick. I'm not like I'll post my Cash App and PayPal, but I'm also going to leave a link to. Actually, I'm gonna leave a link to I'm gonna leave a link to my Twitter post that has the both links on there. That'll make it easier. But yeah, that's literally my situation right now. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I blame a good chunk of this on my dickhead of a landlord because a lot of this could have been avoided if my landlord would just stop being a royal prick. Not to mention, and though like even before this whole legal dispute happened, my landlord basically was not the most pleasant person to deal with. We only put up with it because we had literally nowhere else to go. But yeah, that link links to my PayPal, my Cash App. I need to make a all links or whatever at some point. I have not gotten around to doing that. I probably should, but it's whatever. So if anyone has any questions, now's the time. It's not been remotely easy trying to deal with all this because my mom can only do so much. She is basically she my mom was forcibly retired because of an incident that happened at the last place she worked at, which was a New York hospital. And here's the worst part: they kept trying to oh, I could go into a whole fucking tangent on this one, but I'm not going to for the sake of my sanity or what's left of it. Let's just say it's that bad and leave it at that. Let's just say it's that bad. There's really no nice way to put it. That'll be appreciated, hon. I'm I just don't know what to do anymore. Like I said, I've tried everything I could, so at this point, I'm literally just, I guess, twiddle my thumbs on this because I've tried my like ridiculous hard to find a job since I got laid off my last one, and I kept getting rejection after rejection. And the only jobs that would take me, which I'll be honest, the only jobs that would take me at this point are all the way over in New Jersey, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the minimum wage rate they offering does not keep up with here in New York at all. New York pays at least 18 to 20 bucks an hour. New Jersey is at barely 15 an hour. You see the problem here. It's a huge problem. Not gonna lie. But yeah, the sad part is, here's the thing. Most people would assume in my position I don't want to work. That's not even remotely true. Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I miss having a job again. I seriously miss it because at least it wasn't just, granted, some jobs I've worked were extremely stressful, but at least there was something like I would get something like, work in favor of, supporting my family because and I'll be honest with you, some of the jobs I've worked in the past were not fun to deal with at all. But I stuck it out. I put up with it as much as I could, and I took a lot of like mental and verbal abuse from some of the people I've worked with. But I did it because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to make ends meet. But like I said, y'all can take it however you feel. Like I'm just saying it like it is. Yeah, it's that bad. And like I said, this is from New Jersey. The sad part is, the sad part is, like I said, some of the jobs over there, no one's will take me. But I don't feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. Going to have to having to drive over for over 30 to 45 minutes, like per trip, back and forth every day for that little compared to New York. Yeah, I'm just asking for trouble at that point. Actually, I stand corrected because I just double checked the minimum wage rates. Yeah, New Jersey up till very recently was at $13 an hour. New York is anywhere from 15 to 20, depending on where in New York you're working. But yeah, it's still pretty fucking bad. I could list off at least half the things my landlord's done to be an absolute prick, and I can guarantee at least one person in this chat's gonna be royally pissed. Like I literally can't. I can't sugarcoat this. Going back to just the bare minimum of what the landlord's supposed to be doing, and the landlord's done nothing. We literally had to borderline harass our landlord when we first moved in because the first month and a half we didn't have a working stove, and the landlord dragged his feet on getting it replaced. But that was just the first month and a half. We got over that quickly because we at least were like, because at the time things seemed like they were gonna, improve. Unfortunately, not for long. Maybe a good year and a half after we moved in, that's when shit started going south. Like I said, I think we had at least two cockroach infestations at one point. We dealt with them for the most part since, like, we lived there for roughly, I want to say at least 3 years now. Like I said, for a short while, it seemed like it was improving, but nope. Yeah, we should have known better to get our hopes up that quickly because my mom has enough to shit to deal with as it is. Given the bullshit we've had to put up with, my mom has enough shit to deal with as is, without our landlord being an absolute cockbite. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet on what happened with my mom, for the record, and this is only the bare minimum I'm allowed to talk about. Back when my mom was still working as a registered nurse in New York, and at the time I was still working. Technically, I was working two jobs. Well, not like sort of back to back, but point blank, my mom got injured because of an incident that happened at work, and this was while I was still in college too. At that, I was in my last year of college. My mom got injured on the job, and for the longest time, I had to work extra hours because mostly me, my brother too, but mostly me. I had to work extra hours to make sure that we had the money we needed while my mom was waiting on workers' comp. The problem is workers' comp board was dragging their feet for over a year, longer than she was supposed to be waiting. So I had to put up with it. Then we've basically, this was back when I was living in Pennsylvania for a couple years. So unfortunately, despite the fact that we were making enough to pay off our bills, the power company decided to shut off our power in November. Because of that, again, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. We were forced to move out because we weren't willing to put up with that BS. Moved down to Florida for roughly 6 months to a year. Nothing really improved much job wise. My brother tried to get me a job, but that backfired horrendously. So we said, fuck it. We moved back to New York, found a job there for a good year or so, but I basically got the brunt of it. Y'all already some of y'all should already know the details on that job by now, because it was the same job I was working at the airport. Basically, it was working 50 plus hours a week for literally several months and barely getting anything for it. Had to deal with all kinds of crap from supervisors who either I reported to or not. It was just one catastrophe after another. Like if y'all want to go into details, that's for another time. Because there's some stuff I know I haven't told y'all. As for my current situation with the landlord, we finally got enough to move to a new place. As we've lived with our aunt in our aunt's building for like a year, give or take. All of a sudden, like I said, landlord started being an absolute prick. My mom was on disability. My brother basically was struggling to keep a decent job. I basically got laid off of three jobs almost back to back. Not even kidding. Like I got laid off from one after another. So yeah, improving. Yeah, right. There's no nice way to put it. It really sucked. Like I said, I would love to have a job again, even a temporary one, but sheesh. I guess that's near impossible right now. Or I'm just having a really, really shit luck. I don't know which. Well, anyway, back to the landlord. Landlord is still dragging his feet on, getting shit done. And it got to a point where one night my mom basically got fucking practically jump scared because surprise, she accidentally found a rat hiding in one of the vents. Yeah, it was that bad. And not a small rat either. So yeah, my mom did not take that well. This is what led to the whole thing of our landlord telling my mom to go fuck herself when she basically tried to lodge a complaint about it. If you think I'm kidding, by all means, you're welcome to try and test that. But I'm literally too fed up with all the shit I've had to deal with to basically try and make a bullshit joke out of this. But that's literally the reality of the situation we're in. One thing led to another, and here the fuck we are. A 2 year long legal battle with our landlord because he refuses to fix anything wrong with the place. And then we found out multiple property violations were on the property that were not approved, but like because of apparently some housing changes that were not filed by the landlord. Because let me just give you one idea of just how bad it is. Long story short, this entire fucking property, this whole place, like the approval on the papers was for a two-family home. There are five families on the property, two houses, five families. You see what a problem is, chat. And the landlord did not get approval for any of this shit. And on top of that, All five living spaces, the one basement in one building, two family houses, back to back, all of them sharing one yard, and only sharing. Oh, and here's the fun part: only sharing one boiler. That's how bad it is. I think y'all see where I'm going with this at this point. If you don't, I really don't have to go any further than that. Because I know y'all not idiots. So you see where my list of aggravations and complaints and grievances all come from where my landlord's concerned. And frankly, if it were up to me, my landlord would suffer dearly for all the bullshit he'll cause my family. But I'm trying to be nice for once, much as I really don't want to be. And trust me, I really don't want to be nice to my landlord more than I have to. But yeah, that's basically what's been going on. That's why I'm basically now kind of screwed, more or less, because I'm trying. Because here's basically my like, fuck, I can't even find the right words. But the long and short of it is, the expenses are as follows. We are literally just maybe a couple thousand short of what we need movie expenses wise. The problem is, it's still not enough. And the best option for us right now is to move out to somewhere in Long Island because there's no guarantee we'll find any decent like stability in New Jersey, especially with how closely like how packed the property spaces can be. We're not trying to deal with that BS again. So we're trying to find a place, hopefully that's a little more affordable somewhere in Long Island, because we have been approved for housing. We just need to find, a guaranteed place. And we're looking at maybe, and I this is all how much I'm added up now. Keyword right now, because I don't know if there's even more expensive I'm not aware of. I've tried to get all the information I could, but we need up to a maximum of roughly around $4,000. I'm not gonna lie to you. And a good chunk of that comes from outstanding bills I haven't been able to pay off. And believe me, I've tried. What doesn't help matters is I'm gonna keep it brief because it's more of a personal issue. But let's just say my relatives on my mom's side are not being particularly helpful, or at least most of them are refusing to help out at all because either they're too stuck on themselves or some other bullshit drama I'm not gonna get into. But needless to say, I've said straight to my mother that at this point, there's a reason why I don't talk to most of them, because most of them are fucking assholes. And if you're thinking, and before anyone asks, I don't speak to my sperm donor side of family for multiple reasons. The only person from my sperm donor side of the family I've talked to at all is literally my uncle, and that's only because he's my godfather. But I'm not going to ask him for help because I know he's not going to be able to help out much anyway. The only living relatives I know of on my sperm donor side are literally my grandma, who has died as of roughly 12 years ago, and my sperm donor himself, who, to my knowledge, is not in the country anymore. And I'm perfectly okay with talking about this at this point because I've already hit rock bottom. I'll be honest, I pretty much feel like I've already hit rock bottom. And if it were up to me, and if nothing else, at least I don't have to worry too much about, any toxic pricks on. Well, honestly, Elliot feels like I have. Because I'm getting less than no help from those who are able to. I mean, I know for a fact that most people I know cannot guarantee it right away, and I'm not faulting anyone for that. It's the ones who could help that basically are treating my fucking situation as a joke. That's why I was not very. That's why I was royally pissed off earlier today. Because some of them legitimately see our situation as nothing more than something to laugh at. And frankly, those same people can fuck right off. But yeah, that's literally the gist of my situation. Like I said, I can't go into too many details on certain parts of it because ain't my place to talk about it, but that's literally my situation. If I trust me, I wish I was bullshitting. Because if I was bullshitting, then I I doubt I'd be having this doing the stream right now. Alright. That would be appreciated, Ellie. Like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot, honestly. But it wouldn't hurt some people to donate like and here's the thing. I've made it clear I absolutely fucking despise asking for financial help. I fucking despise it. For multiple reasons. And you know what? Since I'm clearing the air, I might as well tell you those reasons exactly why. One, I've done pretty much a lot of the shit I need to do throughout my life by myself on my own terms. And if it were up to me, I would never be asking anyone for help to begin with. That's how I've been most of my life. So it's not just a matter of pride, it's because I'm not used to asking for people for help. Because I've never really wanted or needed to for the most part. Second reason, yes, it's admittedly a pride thing, but again, goes back to reason number one, because I don't basically feel like it's right for me to ask people for help when there are times when people have made me feel bad for trying to and I'll be honest, this goes back to shit from my younger years. People have made me feel kind of bad for, having it good or whatever, or, having it decent. Hey, Tama. But yeah, that's one of the reasons I hate asking for help. It's both a matter of pride and it's also a matter of me basically having to do shit myself most of my life. Crossy, you're missing my point. The problem is, again, most of my life, I've never wanted or had to. Because I usually find a way to deal with it myself. So to ask anyone for help in any capacity, it pisses me off. And I'll be honest, it makes me feel like I didn't do shit right. And another big reason why I hate asking for help, why I fucking despise it so much, is because half the time at least half the time I ask for help in any capacity, even a small bit, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people who I reach out to, even just a little bit, they fucking laugh in my face and act like it's one big fucking joke to them. That's why I don't like asking for help. Cause it tends to bite me in the ass a lot. And if people are gonna laugh at me for that shit, why should I bother? Cause it's not even for my own sake. It's not for me. It's not me like basically trying to bum money off of people. It's me trying to help my family survive. That's all there is to it. I'm not even keeping a fucking dime for myself on this shit. But apparently some people think that it's me just, being a fucking lazy or worthless bum, whatever, or people act like it's one big joke to them. And they try to make me feel bad for, trying to help my family out. That's why I don't ask for help a lot. Cause I hate when people do that shit to me. I wish it was a race thing or not, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it is. Because remember, Crossy, we've been over this. When regarding my landlord, for example, my landlord's a greedy motherfucker. Motherfucker tried to evict us for almost 2 years just for calling him out on his shit initially. Then because we withheld rent because he refused to help actually fix the place up like he was fucking supposed to. That's literally the problem. There's no nice way to put it. And right now, like I said, yeah, my family won the legal battle, but look what happened to us at this point. Damage has been done. The damage has pretty much been done at this point. Because yeah, we won the legal battle, but we have to move out of here before the year's out. Because if we don't, we're gonna be homeless. And I'm trying to raise at least a good amount of money to at least pay off the outstanding bills we have left before we can move. At the very least, that much. The housing expenses we can probably get from somewhere else, but the bills we have to pay off, they won't transfer over to a new place unless we pay them off. That's literally their policy. So that it is what it is. And Ryukami, you're right. But like I said, that's literally my situation. I'm not like I said, I'm not even doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my family because my mom she can't work anymore. My brother's job is one of the only things keeping us afloat, and it's not guaranteed to be enough. Not to mention, my brother had to has to pay off a good chunk of my brother's paychecks to go off to paying off some surgery he got a while back. So he can't even help us out as much as he wants to. I'm not going to go into details on my brother's whole surgery issue, but that's literally what's going on. So between paying off surgery, paying off our bills, and trying to get enough money for moving expenses, money's been extremely tight. And the sad part is, I've already added up how much we need right now, and we need almost $4,000 for both moving expenses and the bills. And here's the thing: even if it came down to basically us being allowed to live here, the problem is it's more of a legal matter, not just a financial matter. It's also a legal issue because The sad part is, here's the worst part about this shit. Despite the fact we won the legal case against our landlord, here's the problem. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get any of the money back that they excessively charged us. That's gone. So almost all the money my mom paid off towards the rent. Yeah, that we can't get that back. And if you add up how long we've been living here at 2,200 a month, you see where we're coming. What's happening here? Hell, I can add this shit up right now. 2,200 a month. We've been here for roughly 3 years. Well, almost 3 years. So I think. Let's see, 24, 32. It's been 32 months. Let's see, no, not counting the rent from last year. We moved here in roughly, I think it was late 2020 to early 2021. Shit. 24. It was roughly 35 months we went with paying rent. 34, like, yeah, at least 2 years, 2.5 years at most paying the rent. Yeah, we've paid them almost over $66,000 in rent. And what sucks is that even if we sued for that, we wouldn't get much of it back. That's the gist of it. So yeah, I wish if we could get even a chunk of that back, we wouldn't even have like this tree wouldn't be happening right now. If we get even a chunk of that shit back, yeah, that's the gist of it. And like I said, I've been trying to find work for literally over 2 years now, off and on. The most I've been able to get is the occasional like temp job, if I'm lucky, and even then it's not for very long. Maybe a good 2 months at most. Yeah, exactly. Like we wouldn't even like even if we got even a third of that back, it would be like even a quarter of that back would be something. But I'm not getting my hopes up. The sad part is the primary reason we won that case was because of the landlord's property violations. Unfortunately, because of the foreclosure process, which the landlord, by the way, failed to notify us of beforehand, and I mean utterly failed. How about this? Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the property was under foreclosure from roughly a month or so after we moved in. We were not notified of this for almost 2 years. And because of that, that was part of the reason why there was such a big issue over the whole thing. So yeah, because of all that, there was like even if going by the law that states that if you're based under foreclosure, you may not be able to collect rent. That's a matter of circumstance. So thanks to that, I'm not gonna lie, we yeah we're not getting any money back from that. And that's and the sad part is the worst part is this was really one of the better outcomes we could have gotten. Because worst case scenario, we could have we almost ended up getting forced into paying back the extra rent money, despite the fact the landlord was in the wrong. We almost lost the case. But yeah, that's just what's been happening. Y'all got any questions? Let me know now. Cause not gonna lie, I feel like utter shit having to relate all this. All I can say is do what you can, Tama. Even if it's only a little bit, it's better than nothing. But yeah, the amount is, like I said, the amount has not changed. I just need to update it on, my donation link. At the moment, no, Golden, only because to be fair, the two places we're looking at, one is near New Jersey and the other one's over in Long Island. And again, we're just waiting to hear back from the owners or, because the sad part is we thought about moving back in with our aunt again, but that's not possible now because she no longer has a room. So it's a big fat maybe on who we can move, where we can move, if anywhere, honestly. The most we can do is ask for the court to maybe delay the eviction notice for maybe another month or two, but that's it. And the sad part is my mom can only do so much. She's on disability. She can't work anymore. She's already had like two surgeries since the workplace injury, since the workplace incident that happened a few years back. And unfortunately, she's basically legally disabled at this point. My brother can only do so much on his end, and he's paying off a surgery he got last year. As for me, I haven't been able to find work at all. Let me give you a lowdown on how bad it's been on my end. Like, basically, I've applied to. I've literally, like I said, I've literally lost count on how many places I've applied to this year alone. But almost every place. Yeah, he actually had to get a It was a dental surgery, Crossy. But the problem was his insurance wouldn't cover it, so he had to pay it off himself. It was for an issue with a wisdom tooth that basically was a little bit more dangerous than we first found out. I don't know all the details, but yeah, because of that, like I said, his insurance refused to pay it off, so he has to pay it off himself. And I did try my hardest to get him an insurance that would actually cover it, but it was a no go. I lucked out when I got my wisdom tooth extracted, so like I lucked out because my insurance, on the other hand, was able to cover it. But because my brother made like literally what was it, a couple $1,000s more on his last job than the minimum than the maximum amount his insurance would cover. It's literally because of his pay grade. That was why he didn't qualify for getting insurance on that, which is fucking dumb, but whatever. Like I said, I don't know all the details, but here we are. Like I said, we can probably ask the court for delaying it another month or two, but there's no guarantee. I'm not asking for a shit ton here, just, some headway in this BS because I'll be honest, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like, I'm straight up tired of it, to be honest. Because I'll be honest with y'all, it's been one issue after another, where like it's been one issue after another with this whole incident, with these whole affairs. And There's really no nicer way to put it. Even just half the amount I need now would help me out a great deal, but I know better than to expect that much at this point in time. Hell, even a quarter of it would go a long way because I was the one who was covering a good chunk of the bills at one point with my commissions, but when the commissions dried up, that left the bills outstanding and me without much to go on. So yeah, that's literally the whole. I guess that's pretty much more or less the whole story with the whole landlord situation. Honestly, I'll just say it straight. I want to say that it's entirely my landlord's fault that this situation happened, but I don't know if I can fully blame the landlord for this. Trust me, I really want to blame him because a lot of this BS could have been avoided if the landlord was, more responsible. But at the same time, I'm not stupid enough to believe that it's entirely the landlord's fault. Like at this point, like I said, y'all know the reason what's been going on at least this year alone. Y'all already know why I hate asking for help in general because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just straight up completely done because I'm just trying to get by. That's all I'm trying to do. Trying to help my family, get to some place where we can all live, like for at least I don't know a few years, give or take. And as it stands, like right now, between me and my brother, yeah, like Tom, like I said, I've said this before in a few live streams. The money I make from these commissions, I don't keep much of it at all, if anything. They go straight to, they go literally straight to bills, to whatever expenses we need. I don't keep more than maybe what, a few dollars from each commission. But yeah, that's why I've also had to raise prices on my commissions. As much as I didn't want to, I had no choice. Yeah, I mean, shit, if being an asshole paid the bills, trust me, I'd be the world's biggest asshole and I'd be set for life. But sadly, even being an asshole doesn't pay the bills. And it's like I said, between all of this and yep, trust me, I would not mind working there. If only, because I could be an asshole and get away with it. I've tried to reach out to the economy. The problem is they don't get back to me at all. I've literally had to call them constantly just to get a few messages in. And here's the thing, I'm willing to work with them at least part way on that shit. The problem is, again, they don't like. I've left messages. I've tried contacting them through either their website or phone numbers. I can't always go there physically because some of their offices are way further than I can get to. It's that bad. And they've redirected me to like 3 different offices the last time I called one of them. But at this point, I'm gonna see if I can get to at least the nearest office, bare minimum. See if they'll at least hear me out. And if not, I'll just have to figure out what to do from there. Because I know at least one place that they might hear me out, but I need to set an appointment with them. That's the problem. And the biggest part of that problem is that I could leave messages asking to set up an appointment, but they'll never call me back. So yeah, it's that annoying. And I've had a couple of interviews recently, but again, as I've pointed out, y'all probably saw my venting. Some of y'all, like, even of the interviews I've gotten recently, they've turned me down. So I'm trying to get somewhere, but I guess it's whatever. But like I said, BS like this is why I don't like ever asking for help. They'll give me the runaround. They'll treat my whole situation like it's a big fucking game to them. They'll basically they'll just mislead me and shit, or they'll act like basically it's no big deal. It's just fucking ridiculous. But that's the world we live in, I guess. I mean, at this point, I said before, I'll say it again. I don't have the time or the patience to try and bullshit somebody when it comes to the shit I deal with. I don't like. I literally don't have the time or patience for it. Honestly, all I want to do is, just pay off what's left of my debts and, move on with my life. I don't give a shit about being rich, but I understand I need money to get somewhere. So I just want to get all my shit paid up and settled, like get all my shit settled and just, move on with my life. Help my family to get out of bullshit debt. That's what I'm trying to do. But apparently, when I tell this to people, they either think I'm fucking bullshitting or they think it's a fucking joke to them. But yeah, like I said before, that's why I don't like asking for help. So there it is. Not much more to say than that. But I'll probably just fucking end stream here, I guess, because I've already got I'm just feeling mentally worn out from this whole fucking month. because it was already in shit territory but when the month started, and it's only escalated since. So I'll probably just end stream here. But yeah, there's a whole situation in a nutshell. Deal with that information as you will. At this point, I'm just slowly not giving a shit anymore. Anyways, peeps, I'm not gonna do my usual outro because I'm just fed up and I kind of need a breather. So take care and peace out.